All right, welcome to the stream. It is birdie time. We are live. Oh, hopefully everything is good. If I can get ourselves situated here with the camera slash my phone. We've got Dugit live on the course right now. Heck yeah, always good to see somebody getting in the rounds of disc golf in the evening. I myself got in a round of disc golf today. I went to Camp Canaan. I've never been, partly because there was a lot of flooding after the hurricanes last year, and USDGC amateur doubles was planned, I believe, originally for Camp Canaan and Winthrop University. They ended up changing it to Westminster, which was less affected by the flooding and was adjustable. Long story short, when I was coming up to prepare for that, and even after I moved, Camp Canaan was not available. I'm sure that they've been open to the public for a while now. I just haven't happened to get out there until now. It's going to be one of the courses that we're going to compete for amateur doubles. So I was out there getting in my preparation, my practice at Camp Canaan today, and I will say it's a tough course. I think playing solo, it'd be hard to go much under par, but as a doubles event, as a doubles tournament, I think it's a great choice. I think it will really showcase teams who can work well together and who can create opportunities consistently on a tough course. And then between the two, manage to execute on a lot of them and hit some good putts. There are a few birdies that I got today, but honestly, not all that many. There were just a lot of tough shots where on my first throw, I either shanked off the tee, didn't quite hit the gap right, kicked in the woods, missed the landing zone to get around a corner, or I executed pretty well and then missed a putt. But I think that in doubles, all of those glaring mistakes start to get covered up with a teammate who can hit the gap, a little bit better, have a little bit better of an opportunity, hit the putt that you miss. So long story short, I think it was a good bit of practice. I'm very much excited for amateur doubles coming up soon, and I'm glad that I was able to get some practice. Glad that everything seems to be pretty well lined up for the rest of the month for me. Goodness, if I could get that out there. Let's see. I've got a tournament next weekend. It's actually my birthday coming up this week. So I'll be. Oh, I probably should have put that in the title. I wonder if I can change that. Can I change that? Let me see if I can adjust the title. Probably not. While it's live, maybe I can. Oh, look at that. I can. Look at that. Changes saved. Boom. I love how it was 5 minutes into the live stream when I remembered my own birthday. Goes to show you that my mind is on disc golf. I'm a dedicated disc golf guy. Birthdays are secondary. It's all about the sport. Stay focused. All right, looks like we got a couple of early votes in for putting together a Hold My Bag league, and everyone so far is saying yes. And yes, that is one vote, but it's 100% yes, definitely. Hey, Ricardo, thanks for hopping in and joining us. Hello. Thanks for hopping in. So the Hold My Bag League, I'm still not incredibly familiar with it. Actually, this upcoming tournament, I can't even remember the tournament. GMT, I think. Green Mountain Championship? GMC? Whatever it is. That's coming up for the Pro Tour. Well, or an off event for the Pro Tour, or whatever it is. It's the first time that I'm actually trying out the Hold My Bag and made my picks for it. Obviously, you're just the free version of it just to test it out. But it lets you create your own league. So I figured that making a league might be fun and interesting. So I want to throw that idea out there. Ricardo says hi from Brazil. All right. Thanks for hopping in from Brazil. I am in North Carolina, United States. So North Carolina, actually Charlotte specifically, which is a real disc golf hub for the United States, one of the most pop one of the most compact areas filled with disc golf courses that you can access, and high level, high quality, fun courses in a small area. Ricardo is from Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. Thanks for hopping on and joining us, man. Really appreciate your involvement coming through. As I was saying earlier, I got in a good round of practice at Camp Canaan for upcoming USDGC doubles. That's going to be the first weekend in October for USDGC doubles. Camp Canaan and Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So Brent and I are a doubles team. We qualified back in May, I think, maybe early June. I think maybe the first week of June, we qualified for amateur doubles, and we're all signed up. We're in, and very much looking forward to competing. Last year, my brother and I, before he switched into the professional division, had a very good round one. We're actually tied for the lead, and then ended up slowly shifting down to tie for fifth place after 3 rounds for amateur doubles last year. And Brent and I think we are well suited to play at a similar level. I think we'll have to play at our best to repeat top 5, but if we're able to do that, I think that we'd have a chance of being top 3 or even having a go at the win, which would be very exciting. So all of that is really cool. We're very much looking forward to it, and I've started to get in my preparation. I also was remembering that it's my birthday this week. Something that has slipped my mind a few times, but coming up soon. So I'm hitting that birthday week strong, in the ground running, getting in a lot of disc golf this week is going to be my priority. And then, of course, getting to play over the weekend. I have a tournament on Sunday, just a 1-round C-tier chain reactions tournament. Shout out to Nolan. So that's coming up Sunday. I'm going to be getting in a practice round, probably 2 practice rounds, one in the middle of this week and then also on Saturday, so that I can really refine my skills on the pretty easy layout of Renski. Simple, just a par 3 course, and it's all about just executing your shot. You know what to do, hit the line, hit the angle, hit the putt, take a lot of birdies, and hopefully it'll be a nice 1,000 rated event for me. Hopefully a fun little event that I can win. That would be really cool. And that would be great. That'd be a nice little birthday gift to myself. Ooh, maybe an ace. Birthday weekend ace? That'd be really cool. Maybe I'll try to get an ace on camera as well this weekend. But let's see. That's the big stuff coming up. Jacob Hendricks says hi. Don't know if you heard, I gave a shout out to my brother. That would be Jacob Hendrick here, hopping in the chat. And I did mention our tie for 5th place at doubles last year. Jacob with my brother left hand backhand and me right hand backhand was a really great combo. Both of us pretty good at putting. So there were a lot of putts that we made, especially in round 3. Jake was hitting very long putts. I remember an 80-footer that I had given up on us getting a birdie that he hit for us to keep us in it down the stretch and keep us tied at 5th place, which was very, very cool. Dippin' Sauce says, happy birthday, Chief. Thank you very much. Birthday is coming toward the end of the week, but coming soon. So it is birthday week for me. I'm very excited. Almost forgot about it until 5 minutes into the stream, and I had to change the name of the stream because I kind of forgot that it's birthday week. But I'll be going out trying to hit that birthday ace this weekend and competing in a tournament on Sunday as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope all of you also celebrate my birthday this weekend, because September 20th is now I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like the day of getting disc golf rounds in. And I believe UDisc is donating 10 cents to the Paul Macbeth Foundation for every round played. I believe that's what it is. So check that out on UDisc. Everybody play on September 20th. Get as many rounds in as you can on Saturday, because all of that is just helping grow the sport of disc golf and generate some money to be donated. I think it's for the Paul Macbeth Foundation. Jacob Hendricks says, save the ace for Sunday. Yes, that would be the time in the tournament and for money. that would be the time to ace. Birthday weekend ace in tournament, that is the play. That is the play. Let's see. Day. Let me see if I can get better info. Wow, why is this not popping up immediately? Oh, I should look up the date. Of course, September 20th. It's a Paul Macbeth Foundation event. That's what I thought. Wow, why does nothing... There it is. Paul Macbeth Foundation trying to set the record for most recorded rounds in a day worldwide. September 20th. And I'm still not finding the information about 10 cents for every round, but it's a thing. So maybe look that up on UDisc. You get the actual information from it. Hey, Justin number 2 is here. Thanks for hopping on, Justin. Says, yo, Birdie. Thanks for hopping on, man. And shout out Justin for this sweet disc sent back to me. Really, really cool Junior Disc Golf Worlds disc. We traded Worlds discs. I had a Gorgon from Am Worlds, and I got this from Junior Worlds. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. That's really awesome. I love the basket right in the middle, just kind of in the background, the little basket hanging out. Super cool. So shout out Justin for sending that in to me. And I was considering maybe doing a disc giveaway. I think I'm keeping that disc. That disc is sweet. It's going to stay on my shelf. But I have plenty of other discs to give away. So upcoming disc giveaways include pretty much everything on this kind of shelf over that you can barely see. So I'll actually, I have a nice Halo It that will be joining the giveaway. I'm not putting out a date for this, but I will say I'm coming up on 7,000 subscribers. We have, 6,930 subscribers. 7,000 subscribers, definitely doing some disc giveaways. I don't know if I'll get 7 given away, but it will be more than one disc. So we've got a nice Halo It. We have a cool Halo Star Mamba and a Halo Star Rolo. So pretty interesting stamps for them. And this Rolo, I just imagine it's such a good, useful disc. And I also got a Thrasher here. This is a lightweight 164 to 166 gram Thrasher. I threw it one time and said, this is not a disc for me. It's very flippy for a lightweight Thrasher. It's going to turn over. It's going to probably for someone throwing at speed. So I figured a giveaway was perfect. Hopefully it ends up in the hands of one of you guys who maybe doesn't throw quite as far, but it would absolutely bomb for you. That would be really, really great. Justin, let me go put it in my Innova bag. I forgot about it. Oh, need that Thrasher? Yeah, you do. I'm sure you could throw that an absolute mile. I've got this sweet, this is hard to see, but it really is awesome. This awesome Scorch here. If I could get it right side up. The stamp is a little bit hard to actually make out, but this Ledgestone Scorch is really cool. This is a sweet disc. Absolutely good for the giveaway. And then I've got a buzzsaw. I have several buzzsaws, so I just don't need them. And what was this? Oh, MD1. Almost want to keep this MD1, but it has a really sweet serpent on it. So I can't pass up this stamp to try to give this away to one of you guys. So plenty of giveaway discs in the stack. Even more. Last one I'll show is this guy. Pretty cool. Plenty of discs in the stack for giveaways, and I can promise you giveaways coming soon. No official date yet, but for hitting 7,000 subscribers, we will be giving away multiple discs, and there'll be other giveaways that I'll be running soon as well. Feels like it's been a long time. I know it's been only a month since I gave away a disc, but it feels like it's overdue. Justin says, need that Thrasher, goes into my Discraft bag for my roller. Don't have a roller disc yet. It would be perfect. I really think that Thrasher would go places. The fact that I threw one time and it just like flipped over like crazy into a cut roller when I wasn't trying to lay it down as a roller makes me think that as a roller it would be living out its full potential for sure. All right, let's see. We have 4 votes on the poll, and we have 4 votes for definitely should create a hold my bag league. Again, I haven't really done a ton of research into it, but I have jumped in for the Green Mountain Championship or tournament or whatever, whatever it's called, GMC, GMT, whatever it is. I hopped in on that one, made a couple of picks, not announcing what they are. They're very sneaky picks. I'm definitely gonna win for sure, but I'll give it a shot, see what it's like, and I'm considering throwing together a league for that. That would be a lot of fun, I think. Justin says, "Do you have a cap wrap? I need one also." Sad, sad, sad story. I lost my cap wrap today. At Camp Canaan, there's a hole where you're throwing right at the river, but it's a hard fade along the river toward the basket. And as a second, I was like, my cap wrap is going to dive left, so I throw it. Of course, the flattest I've ever thrown it, and it goes 2 straight as it's swinging to hook up. It goes over the hill down toward the embankment, disappears, and it's almost 100% certainly in the water and hard to find, hard to see. I searched the embankment side of the river, the grass. I looked in the water. It's not super shallow. It's not just a creek. It's a river, and it's a Z-Flex plastic, so it's partly see-through. I couldn't catch a glimpse of it. So unfortunately, cap wrap is toast, and I don't have even a backup cap wrap for myself. I only have a Raptor. And speaking of, I do Raptors, but I do want to get this in my bag. And it is a signature disc, but it's kind of rubbed off. I did get Brody and Yuli. Definitely appreciate their Tour Life podcast. Definitely a lot of fun to listen in to see the interviews that they have. Interviews are fantastic. So Caprac bit the dust, but the Raptor will probably make it back in the bag, or I'll throw the Ledgestone box Raptor that I just got. But Raptor is now going to be back in the bag. Yes, unfortunately, Cap is gone. Brandon White says, just lost my cap wrap 2 weeks ago in a tournament. Had to go find another Z Swirl to be a stable Raptor. Okay. Bummer. I did not lose mine in tournament, but it felt really stupid because I had already thrown a tee shot and it was not good, but it was fine. Like I didn't lose a disc. And then I was like, cap wrap always goes. So I throw it 2 straight, gone forever. Probably. It could be found, and my name and number are my name and number are on it. My name is on it, and so is my number. So hopefully somebody reaches out and returns it. That would be great. Justin says, Brad, do you have any Discraft discs I can trade for? Anything you're looking for? I probably have several floaters that I could trade out. I have a... I should have... Well, I can't make promises. Maybe. I look at my Ledgestone unboxing and kind of glance at those discs because I'm really not looking to keep all of them. I don't need to keep all of them. So if one of them catches your eye, let me know. But I'm trying to look at them right now. I have a couple of extra passions. I'll be throwing them to test them out, and I'm sure I want to keep a passion on the shelf or available to throw, but I don't need multiples, probably. So there could be a passion up for grabs if you're interested in a passion. Maybe a Sagara ? Probably a Scorch. I have plenty of Scorches. Not looking for Scorch, by the way. Okay, never mind. I don't have any Scorches for you. They're all for me. You have like 7 Scorches. Good night. Yeah, I lost a Scorch a while back. It was a sad day because it was a birthday gift, and it was unfortunate to let that go forever. Never seen it again. Also lost a Hades, same birthday, same gift, in Charlotte. That vanished on me as well. And by that, I mean I threw it and forgot it. Because that happens way too often. But I do have plenty of... Well, I have several Discraft options. We'll put it that way. I actually don't have that many discraft discs. One of my friends will often try to bet a disc on a practice round and say, if I beat you, you give me a disc. If you beat me, I give you a disc. And he always asks for a discraft. And so I looked through all my discs and I'm like, I don't have that much. I don't have extra spare discraft discs just sitting around to be handed off. I have some that I use or that are backups, like Souls in my cap wrap or my Raptor for my cap wrap. But I don't have that many like additional extra discs just lying around. Brendan White, any tips for the mental game / putting game? It's killing my rating. Got 440 on a forehand, but that means nothing if I get in my head and can't putt. I would kill for a 440 forehand. But yes, you are absolutely. Mental game is everything. Putting is fundamental to scoring in disc golf. There's a lot that goes into it. I would say it really depends on your personality, but there are a lot of things that might work for mental game. The biggest thing for me is feeling confident and feeling comfortable. So I want to know that when I throw a disc, it's going to leave my hand right. So I make sure my hands are dry. And so I have a towel just for drying my hand. Other people use chalk, birdie sauce, whatever might do it for you. So like pay attention to all of the little things. Are your shoes feeling good? Do your shoes have bad traction on the tee pad? That destroys confidence in your throw. Do you know how far your disc goes? All of these are, I know if you're looking at putting specifically, these aren't helpful, but all of these are elements of building confidence in yourself, in your talents and skills, in your consistency, and helping yourself get to the point where you're not too frustrated when things just don't work out how you hope or expect them to work out. Getting practice in on the courses that you're going to compete is huge. Knowing ahead of time what you plan to throw off of every tee can really help with a lot of confidence, because when you're walking up to that tee pad, the last thing that you want on your mind is, what on earth am I going to throw off of this tee? Well, how far is it? 315 feet, and it breaks a little bit to the right at the very end. Let's see, how am I going to access that green and slow down in time? Like, you want to already know, like for instance, if I had a good forehand, that I'd probably throw an FD1 on that line, whatever, that's in my bag. So you want that already settled. You want that decision made so that when you step on that tee, you don't have to think about what disc am I throwing, what shot shape am I throwing. All you're thinking about is aiming right there, going to execute, planting my feet correctly. Oh, there's a little bit of left to right wind, so I'm aiming a little bit over, whatever that looks like for you. There's just so many little things that go into mental. But the more that you play, the more you put yourself in that situation in a competitive mindset, the more that it's going to feel normal and natural for you to be in that place. So keep playing tournaments. Don't. This is a there is tension to this advice, because if you are very upset at how tournaments are going, continuing to fail might be demoralizing. But if you're able to look at your competitive experiences and say, I'm growing from these, I'm building off of these, I don't have to succeed today, I want to succeed eventually, then you can look at tournaments as growth opportunities. You can look at the chance to improve and test yourself in the competitive environment, and that can help you build confidence for next time. The more often you put yourself in a position to potentially win, the more often that you have to stand up under that pressure and do your best to execute in that circumstance. Then when you keep getting into that situation, you'll be more comfortable over time. Now, switching over to putting, because I answered half your question. Putting, I think, is all about repetition. When I went to Am Worlds, I took the time to putt 2,000 putts in 10 days before Am Worlds, and it seriously paid off. I had about 90% putting for the first 4 rounds, and I missed a few C1 putting, sorry. 90% circle one putting for the first 4 rounds, and then I missed extra putts. I missed 3 putts my last round, so I don't know what my putting percentage was, probably middle 70s. But I missed only 1 C1 putt each of the first 4 rounds. That was because I had spent thousands of putts in circle one. I did do a lot of circle 2 putting as well. So well over 1,000 putts in circle 1. That repetition helped me so much because when I walked up to a 30-foot putt, I knew what it felt like. I just made it 100 times. I had just made it 8 out of 10 times in a set of 10, or I guess I had 11 putters. 8 or 9 out of 11 putts, I had made that putt. So making it one time in the itself felt so much easier because I had just done it so many times. So getting that repetition is really, really helpful. It also builds confidence because you know that you can make that putt most of the time. But when you do miss, especially when it's like a 30-foot putt, you can also mentally acknowledge that you just miss that putt sometimes. You're not 100% from 30 feet. So when you miss from 30 feet, you're not supposed to make every single 30-footer. Yeah, you want to make most of them or a lot of them, but you can't expect that level of perfection out of yourself if you spend a lot of time practicing and you know that you're 70% from 30 feet or 40% from 30 feet. You know reality, which helps you to accept mistakes when they occur. Sam Gilchrist, thank you so much for the $2. Says you are a very talented disc golf player. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot. It's really encouraging. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. So I hope some of that helps Brendan get that putting focused practice in. Last thing that helps me is when I do step up to a putt, I like to go through a really fast mental checklist. I've explained this to people and they're like, doesn't that take like 40 seconds? I'm like, no. This is really, really like 1 or 2 seconds each. You want to plant your feet comfortably, grip your disc comfortably, pick your aim point. Well, that's actually wrong order. Acknowledge and then ignore distractions. People walking, wind in the trees, loudspeaker blaring over in the soccer field. Recognize that it's there and then shut it out. Then pick your aim point, and then you are ready to do your best to execute. You've been in that position. If you've done your putting practice, you know what it feels like to make the putt. Do your best to replicate it in that moment. When you've eliminated your little things that can trip you up, like your foot being pointed a little bit off to the side, you didn't have good grip on the disc, you didn't really think about the noise, but as you putt, somebody starts to announce a soccer player's name and it's really loud. Once you get those out of your mind and addressed, then you can just focus up on picking your aim point and trying to hit it. And the more that you practice, the more you'll hit your aim point or close enough to make a lot of putts. That was a very lengthy response to your 2-part question. I hope it helps a little bit. There is a lot that goes into mental game, way more than I talked about. But repetition, practice, putting yourself in the situation, and then recognizing that you're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot. And like recently, even in AM Worlds, round 2, I'm being filmed by Gatekeeper Media. I triple bogeyed hole 2 on coverage. I was the only person in the AM Worlds field to triple bogey hole 2 that day. That's not a great feeling, but I worked off that mistake for the rest of my round. And despite being +3 through 4, +3 through 5, I ended up 1 down. Slowly chipped away at that triple bogey early on. And it wasn't a great round, but I salvaged what I could. And if you play golf like that, you're going to end up succeeding more often than failing. Okay. Justin says, I know this is a hard trade, but how about that buzzsaw? Maybe a buzzsaw. I'd probably have an extra buzzsaw, and I could still do a buzzsaw giveaway. Justin responds to the question that I took 20 minutes to answer and says, just practice, to be honest. No, it's true. It's helpful, of course. Brendan says, in casual round, I'm blasting music, joking, and that's so much different than a tournament. So it's kind of the switch up that messes me. So if you really would say that tournament is where you want to focus on succeeding, then you might want to make your practice rounds like a tournament round. You might want to carry your mini marker in your pocket. I've done that more leading up to a tournament than just a random Tuesday night round, but I'll do that sometimes. I'll put my mini marker in my left pocket because that's where I keep it in a tournament. make sure that you're always marking your disc. Don't play music or play with your buddies, but like go practice by yourself. I'm not recommending you always do this, but you might want to shift some of your casual rounds into tournament prep rounds where you get yourself in that tournament mindset, and you make sure that you are following all of the rules. You're not taking mulligans. Like maybe you putt twice to get the practice, the reps in, but you're taking that and you're scoring what you would aim for in a tournament round. That might help you kind of consistently more so have that tournament mindset. I don't know, but clearly you can't go into a tournament and do some of those things because of courtesy. So I get that making that switch can be jarring, and it can be hard to kind of swap into that mode for when the competition actually matters. Doc says, sorry, I'm late. What is a hold my bag league? Oh, never mind. Oh, well, looked it up. There we go. Use the Google. But yes, the hold my bag league. Did we get a, yep, 21% say, what is that? So the hold my bag is the, I guess I'll say closest thing to disc golf betting, question mark. I know that you can pay, but there's just like, you can do like a free league. You like pick your players from tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you kind of see how many points they generate for you. So it's a little bit like a fantasy league, but you don't, to my knowledge, you don't play against anyone else. Sorry, you don't play one-on-one in a matchup with anyone. You just all are in the same pool for one tournament, and at the end you see who got the most points. I explained that poorly, but it's free, and I am testing it out at the GMT or GMC, whatever it is. I think it's GMC. For the tournament upcoming, I have made some picks, and I just want to see how it works. Like, how many points am I actually getting from people, if well, and how their scorecards play out, etc. Okay. Justin and Doc saying hi. Had to let the dog out and put the soup on. How are you doing? Nice, Doc. Justin finished T3rd in MA1. Very disappointed with himself with a 993 rated tournament. Okay, buddy. That's really good. Good job. Obviously, if you are hoping to win and you're putting yourself in that position, that's tough to not execute at that level. And I also misread. Sorry. I saw a 993, 939 tournament rating. That's me just reading too fast. But that also, that's a big difference. If Justin was disappointed with 993, I would say 993 is good. Being disappointed with 939, which is not terrible, but when it's below your rating, it's below your average where you've been playing at, that's disappointing. So I definitely understand. Doc says, you pick which option I gave you prefer. I don't know what that means. G-Key, square disc might be optimal disc golf clickbait. It's possible. Someone had a video with all different kinds. Yes, that's true. That's true. Didn't think your, oh gosh, I have to read. Didn't think your WR was going to have the game of his life against my fantasy team. Yeah, I checked in on that. What was that prediction? You with a 56% chance of winning and me with a 44. And then suddenly I jump in partway through and I'm at like a 67% chance of winning, and GK is falling behind. Let's put it that way. And what can I say, man? I picked a better team. I don't know. Best thing is I didn't even log into the fantasy football app. I've never done a fantasy league. I've never done anything. I don't know players. I don't follow football. And I had won the first week with my auto-drafted team and auto-played players. And I made a few adjustments based on percentages, but not really knowledge of players. And it looks like I'm 2 for 2. Doc, don't feel bad. I already got one player suspended and one who's injured. Ooh, ouch. Hey, Logan says, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for hopping on, Logan. Doing well, man. Just got in a practice round at Camp Canaan, one of the courses we'll be playing for the amateur doubles tournament coming up, USDGC doubles, first weekend in October. So practice round went fine. It's a difficult course. Lost my cap wrap in a river. Sadness, but It was good practice. I think that it is a great course for doubles teams because it's very challenging, but with two good players, it'll reward good teamwork and good consistency. JT says, I hold my breath and hope to see where she flies. Yeah, depending on what you're throwing. If you're throwing the square disc, that thing is gone. That thing is way off to the right. Doc thinks that it's the correct way. Unless it's really bad, then you look away. No, no, no. Don't say that because G Key throws a bad shot and he does look away, and then I have to find it for him. So please, please educate the masses, Doc. When you throw a bad shot, keep watching it so you know where it goes and you can find that disc again instead of your card mates having to find it. Erwin says, Norris Chuck, how you doing, Brad? Doing great, man. In and checking in with me. Everything is good. Got a mini tournament coming up, birthday coming up this week, which I'm excited for. Hoping, cross my fingers for a birthday weekend ace in tournament on Sunday. That'd be pretty cool. Fingers crossed. Jiki, getting some food. Are we doing scrapyard this week? Dodging to avoid Jeremiah's? Oh, I might have to dodge because I'm playing at Rensky on Sunday. So I think Rensky is where we should play. But Jeremiah sounds really good. We do have to go to Jeremiah's. Doc says, and ask league buddies who do tourneys to hold you to the rules. Good advice for helping you get in tournament mindset is in practice rounds being held to the rules by the people you play with. That's great. Justin says, Brad, we'll talk to later. Sounds good. Seek Truth Now, thanks for hopping on and joining and being involved in the comments lately on a bunch of the YouTube shorts I've put out and one of my longer videos. So shout out Seek Truth for jumping into some community participation lately. Doc says, Brad, no, I didn't look it up. I just did the what's that option. Oh, so now that I explained it, did you change it to definitely? Logan says, what do you use to try to get more videos of us throwing, and the phones just aren't good enough. So I do use my phone, but I have a, oh gosh, I can't even remember, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. I picked it for the video capacity of the phone and for good pictures, but mostly for the video capacity, and I'm happy that I did. It does have a UHD 60 frames per second 4K video. Remember all of the stats that it has. And for me, I just make sure I'm on a very steady tripod set on the ground, and then I do my zooming later. If you do have a friend hold the camera, hold the phone, then you need them to zoom for you because otherwise the quality is just not going to be good enough, and you need them. Most people too much. You see is like disc basket, and that's like filling your screen. You need context. You need to be able to see the gap you're throwing through, where it turns over, that you crossed over the water. So yeah, for me, that's what I have. That's what I work with. Not everybody's phone is at a high quality. I totally understand that. It's totally fair. If you have a decent phone and it's just not coming in, then the tripod I used was like $25 and it has adjustable feet. So you can make sure it's never going to fall over on a slope or anything like that. And you can pretty even, good for filming like that. And then, yeah, make sure, I guess, your phone settings are using their highest video quality. Sometimes it'll do 30 frames per second or something automatically. Otherwise, Disc Respect, Cam, he uses a camera that's quite nice for all of his filming and then is able to do the editing on his phone. I think that's crazy. I transfer my video to a laptop and do my editing that way, but he does a great job. So I can't criticize him. And he does have a different format there. So it just, work with what you have, but you might want to shift in a direction of high quality if you're really going to lean into it. Dr. Logan, consider a phone gimbal. So gimbals are helpful, but only mildly. It's harder to zoom with them when you're holding with a gimbal, but it does keep it level for you, kind of a gyroscopic balance. It can be great for having someone who films everything, who's acting like a cameraman. If you're just passing your phone around to a couple buddies to film a few shots. Logan says we're looking at all going in on a GoPro. GoPro can be great. It's just slightly harder to access the footage. Of course, when you film with a phone, you can look right at the footage. GoPro, you have to plug it in and transfer things. But if you are filming a lot, that's a great way to do it because you can transfer everything at once and then look through it. So, not a bad idea. Doc says also check around online. You can find GoPro accessories cheap. I will say, Jiki says catching strays is crazy. Also, you're sadly 3 minutes behind. I'm always 3 minutes behind. You can also sometimes find people selling like an older, quote unquote older-ish iPhone, which have very good video and photo quality. And oftentimes, like a spare iPhone can be a great filming option if you can get one for a reasonable price. Okay, we're gonna jump up a little bit in the chat. Logan, we play doubles a lot. Actually, play whoever's ever drive gets taken. The other person putts first or throws second shot. Most of my friends try to lay up. And no, I give it an actual run because I'm a little better at the moment. Yeah, that's fair. You get that safe play and then go for the aggression. That can absolutely work. Could be a good teamwork. G-Key, catch you later. We'll coordinate times soon. Sounds good. Rensky coming up. Bryant, sorry I've been MIA. Miss you, brother. And Bryant, shout out, has been putting in some rounds of disc golf in some tournaments and great attitude, man. Just it's cool to see no matter what happens, no matter how he plays, he's just happy to be out there playing some disc golf, praising God and having a good time. Great to hear from you, buddy. Hopefully we can get some actual disc golf in together at some point. Maybe it has to be at the Eagles Wings conference in January, but hopefully at some other point we can actually find an event that we can compete it together. Doc says, are your videos able to are your videos able to change, or was I just banned? Some of them were blocked. I have not seen any of my videos where comments were not permitted. I think all my videos have comments available for everyone. I think all of my videos have at least one comment on them. I don't remember the last time I posted a video and got 0 comments. I guess I'm talking about shorts. Like usually I get a few. I don't know. I'm unaware. Good question. Brandon says, good chatting, need to head to the store. All right, peace out. Thanks for hopping on, and feel free to check in later. Walter Miller, Secret Life of Walter Miller. What understable discs fly the most straight for you? I'm throwing Hawkeyes right. I'm throwing Hawkeyes right now, but looking for others. Great question. The Echo is my understable disc that flies straight for me. It's perfect. The Brave is also my personal favorite. There are 2 types of Brave. There's the swirly and the not swirly, and I always mix them up, but one of them is more stable and one of them is flippier. They're both fantastic. I bag one of each. They are 7.6 -1.2, so technically not understable, but the flippier Brave is flippy. But the straighter Brave, dead straight for me. So highly recommend the Brave. If you're looking at mids, I do recommend the Echo. It's fantastic. Trail is a pretty straight shot depending on your arm speed. Drivers and fairways. FD1 for me is a pretty straight shot, but it's been in the bag for a while, so I could see it being more of having more bite to it early on. I'd probably say trail again, -1.1. It will fly pretty straight for a lot of arm speeds, and a lot of the are pretty straight, but some of them are a little flippier. River, also a good option. 7.7 -1.1, I think. Some of the newer GoPros have screens to review footage. There we go. Didn't know that. Never thrown a Hawkeye. Actually, don't know how straight it is. I have a Hawkeye. I think I do. Or maybe I gave it away. I had a Hawkeye. Is this a Hawkeye or a J? Every time I say Hawkeye, it sounds more and more and more like I'm saying Hawkeye. That's just making me uncomfortable. This is a Hawkeye right here. NADGT. Threw it for a little while. It's a good disc. Not my top disc, but it is a good disc. Just happened to not be the flight shape at the time I needed, but stays on the shelf. Just ordered, a doc says, just ordered an Innova Fox. I hear it's nice straight mid that flies like a driver. I will say I don't think it's a straight mid. I think it's a turnover for almost everybody. I think it will turn over for you, Doc, gently. But I think it's a straight. I don't think it's a straight flyer. I think it's flippy. Maybe not for every human being, but for most, I would say it's flippy. Way flippier than I thought. I think it'll be a great disc for a lot of people. Logan used to throw lat 64 diamond opto. It flew very straight, very flippy, so I threw it hard, a lot of hyzer, and it would flip up to straight. Just heard of the Fox. It's newer. As far as I know, it's like 2 weeks old, so it's pretty recent. First time I heard of it was last Tuesday. I think it just dropped, and I don't have one, but I did have shout out Ray. I feel so bad. So Ray recognized me while Brent and I were playing at Bailey. Chatted for a few minutes. He ended up giving me his Fox, and I thought I filmed a tee shot of me testing it out, giving it a throw. I didn't hit record or something. I did not have that video. So I feel bad because I was like, hey, you want a shout out? I'll, and then I didn't film it. So shout out Ray for letting me borrow his Fox. Thank you. But didn't actually get to post the video of it, which makes me feel sad. But it was still a good practice round for us. Luke Mendelson, hey, just threw my first even round. Couldn't believe it. Officially addicted. That's how it's done. You hit even par and you're like, oh, I can do this. Heck yeah, man. Congrats. That's great. Wesley says, hey, I'm relatively new to disc golf and found you after returning a disc to someone in the AM tourney a few weeks ago. That led me to stumbling into your channel, and I would like to be in your tourney. So if you're talking about the tournament I'm playing at Renski Sunday, the 21st, hop in the tournament. There should be plenty of spaces left, but they will fill up toward the end of the week. Nolan's chain reaction tournaments fill up quickly. If you're referring to the Hold My Bag League, that's should be open to everyone as well. And it does look like we have a pretty nice majority of definitelys and maybes, and only 5% of you say no way. So it's pretty good. At least 95% of you are potentially interested. So that's going to be free to any and everyone, and I'll be posting about that on the channel if I put that together, which I am interested in doing. Doc says, can't find the video now, Brad. I couldn't comment on it. It was maybe just funky on my end. Does it help to just leave even a good job comment? Yeah, I would say that saying just leaving a comment on one of my videos is generally speaking helpful to me. I have had videos with a ton of comments that don't get a ton of views. It happens, especially like a disc giveaway video, even a disc giveaway short. Because of the style of video, a lot of people don't care and they click away. So I'll get a lot of comments, but not as many views, just what happens. But a lot of times when I am getting decent views on a video, the more interaction, the better. So leaving a comment, generally speaking, helpful. I don't earn money from the comment or anything like that, but any interaction in my content helps generate momentum on YouTube and signals to them that people are interested. So I always appreciate when you guys leave comments. I'm always thankful. And not to mention, I just enjoy answering your comments. So that's a lot of fun for me. I always appreciate giving some advice or feedback, or even just hearing about some of your success or failures. Make me smile, make me laugh. So greatly appreciated everyone who interacts in the live stream, leaves comments on videos. It's awesome. I love it all. Logan says, wait till you get your first ace. Yeah, Luke, hit that ace. Huge. Or did you hit an ace? Let me see. Doc got a 180. Dude, it's going to turn over like crazy. Heavyweight diamonds. Oh, is that what you're talking about? Diamond? Either way, pretty flippy for the most part. Doc says, Brad, it was an FPO telling me about it who's a bit older, so maybe. Okay, so you were talking about the Fox flying straight. So an older FPO player was telling you to fly straight. Yeah, I think it'll be flippy for most people, but there could be different runs. I only threw one disc once. That disc, very flippy, flippier than I expected. I didn't even get the weight, so maybe it was super lightweight as well. Luke says, also was thinking of picking up the Pixel, and the putt clip you posted has me hyped. Yeah, Brent hitting that 80-foot downhill with the Pixel. That might have even been more like 90 feet. That was insane. Pixel is a good disc. It takes a bit of getting used to, like any disc does, but I think that it putts really well. I actually did a Pixel only round. Oh, it's still in my car. I let GK borrow a disc once and it never gets back to me. Just kidding. He returned it. Putter. I did a Pixel only round and then an Envy only round. I putted really well with the Pixel, surprisingly well. I was actually very happy at how that round went. Very pleased. Pixel is a great disc, good for throwing, but great on the putting green. I do have a couple of aces with my Eclipse Pixel. Is it here? Is it here? Maybe it's just one, but I have a legit first throw ace with this Pixel. Pixel's good. Pixel's good. Maybe the Fox video is the one you couldn't comment on, the video that didn't exist. Maybe. Maybe. Logan says, yes. Doc, I haven't had a chance to throw one yet. The heavy diamonds, yeah. They're nice. It's a diamond, but a little less flippy because heavier. It's true. It's good. It's a good disc. Have to check it out. Yeah. All right, Dude just says, totally play Hold My Bag. Played Hold My Bag in a while. Yeah, I'm just interested in it and interested if it'd be a fun community activity because I'm sure with a small group, like 20, I'm sure we'd have a clear winner every single time, which would be a lot of fun. I don't think people would be picking all the same 5 people. Especially when you get down to like tier 3, 4, 5, you're gonna have a lot of variety to choose from, and you wouldn't just be like Gannon Berg, Calvin Heimberg, Ricky Wysocki. I didn't mean to put him in tier 3. Anyway, so you wouldn't just pick the same 3 every time. Doc says, Logan, if you like lightweight, the gravity line is, but love them. I try to like them all, but now I'll try to do at least a good job. Oh, you're talking about all my videos? Okay, good. Thank you. Italian chicken and beans. All right. Luke did park a couple 3 feet from the basket. No aces yet. I'm sure it's coming. It absolutely is. It's going to probably be when you're just not even expecting it at all. It won't be an ace run. It's going to be you're going for birdie and you're like, ooh, I threw that a little too hard. And then it's just going to go in. And it's going to be like, what? Hopefully that happens soon for you. It's electric when it happens. Doc says, you will, Luke. If Brad can do it, almost anyone can. Not saying I'm that good. I'm saying anybody can do it. There you go. Logan says, I liked light when I first started. Now I throw more stable discs. Yes, it is absolutely a progression. What is a hold my bag? So basically, it is just a disc golf tournaments coming up, and you have 5 tiers of players, and you pick one from that tier, and you say, I think this person will earn me the most points for. I think they say you get points for birdies, you have negative points for bogeys, but your birdie points outweigh your bogey negatives, and then placement earns you points as well. So you earn points based on how well your player plays, and then you just get all of your points, however many points you can get, add up to the total, and then you see how you rank. So in a league, like I think everybody is just in one free jumbled mess. So I'm sure a couple people at the top might even pick the same players and have a 3-way tie for a win. But for like 20 of us, 30 of us, it'd be pretty clear like somebody's going to destroy everybody because they happen to pick, Ben Callaway, which he's a good pick now from recent play. But they'll pick like Ty Love, and it turns out he took like 5th place and had a billion birdies and a bunch of bogeys and just earns points like crazy. So you never know what's going to happen. Jennifer says that looked like a time lapse. What looked like a time lapse? Like the video looked like a time lapse, or the disc looked like a time lapse? Because I have a time lapse. Simon Lizotte signed, Simon Line, time lapse. If you're talking about the Pixel, I think that's the last disc that I showed. I don't know. Doc says I get Logan dynamic getting a gravity line though, and I'm in. Yeah. Well, Doc's super, super, super old and decrepit, so lightweight discs are a huge benefit for him. Doc says me joins the fantasy league picks all 5 Team Brent. Nice. Logan says, think I'm going to host a tournament in my hometown later this year. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. I'm definitely kind of looking ahead to the future, looking toward potentially running birdie time tournaments. I definitely can't do anything by the end of this year, but long-term goal, birdie time tournaments in Charlotte. Be a lot of fun. I think Nolan would potentially help me run an event like that. I think that'd be really cool. Anyway, I didn't mean to make that about me. I hope that running that tournament goes really well. It just crossed my mind. But yeah, dude, heck yeah, hosting a tournament, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I think it's really worth it. It's really rewarding to really be part of the disc golf community like that. And depending on where you are too, offering a tournament can be massive if there's not that many competitive events and tournaments offered in your area. Even if there are a lot, it can be cool to have better, different options. Fantasy for disc golf. Thank you. That is the better way of summing it up. Yes. Doc says, Logan, considered a non-sanctioned one to start with, like the Dynamic Discs Trilogy, kind of a tournament in a box. Yeah, there can be some simplicity to running that or a space race because it's more, yeah, it's tournament, yeah, in a box. Doc said it well for once. If not dynamic fans from the others, blah, blah, blah. Logan says, nothing crazy, just local. Played it a few close to me this year, but they don't do any at the course in your hometown. I think. So yeah, that'd be really great. Jennifer says the disc with the laboratory bottle. If you were talking about my Pixel, where did I even put it? With the MVP lab, I mean, it's just a lab second disc. So this is my Pixel. Definitely not time lapse, but you do have the lab second stamp on it. There are a lot of lab second discs out there that are great. I bagged one, my Red Echo. Sunchips sent in to me. Shout out. One of the best discs in my bag. Lab second. Logan likes the time lapse. Bag it for more stable forehand shots. I have seen good stable forehands with the time lapse. I enjoyed it for a long time. I wish I'd aced with it because I told my brother I would try to, and then I didn't ace with it. But it's a good disc. Doesn't make my bag at the moment. Luke says, okay, when you practice putts, do you use all of the same discs or like a stack of 10 putters? Both. I have 10 of the same putters. I am dedicated to the Warden. I have figured out that the Warden is my putting putter, and I'm sticking with it. So I have about 15 Wardens. So I have a stack of 11 that I do my putting practice with, and the discs that I use on the course stay in my bag. And then I take my stack and I set down. For me, it works great to just pick a distance, putt 11 times, grab them all. Pick a different distance, putt 11 times, grab them all. When I feel warmed up, I'll go to 25 feet and putt 100 times in a row. That way I know what is my putting percentage from 25 feet. 60, 70, 80%. Whatever it is, that gives me a benchmark to kind of aim at and think about. So I know when I miss a 30-footer in a tournament that I'm 76% from C1 this week, in my practice. So I'm going to miss one from further away at some point. I'm not perfect. Helps keep my mindset, but it also gives me confidence because I know when I've made this putt a lot. And that's something that Johnny McRae told me when I had a putting lesson with him. You want to practice making putts. You want to practice putts that you make often. I recommend the majority of your practice being a putt you make of the time. I do think you can also stretch yourself, go to 40, go to 50, go to 60 feet and miss all of them. But give them some runs, get comfortable with the distance. If you're always making the comebacker, then that's a great practice technique, is running a 60-footer. And if you're 8 feet away to 12 feet away every time, then great. That's a great layup. The most of your putting, make the majority of practice putts you make often. Putts you make most of the time. Good question. Yes. I have a stack of the same discs. Doc says, looking at some of the top putters, can get a putter stack of like 5 or more, and they try to make them all the same weight. Yes, I have the same weight. Logan says, I try to use the same putter to build consistency, but I'll use some that fly the same as my usual putter. Dude says, sorry, I had to unload dishes. We all understand. Chores come first. Brad comes second. Jennifer, lab second is a company stamp, not a disc mold stamp. Yes, that is good. That is correct. Good explanation. Dude, round today was pretty meh, but to be honest, it was first round in 2 weeks. Man, I'm glad you got out there. 2 weeks is a long time. 2 weeks is a long time. Somebody is busy with school and soccer? Question mark. Mr. Goalie. Upshots felt really good. Putting was good, but drives were iffy. Jim Butt says dislocated. Oh no. Dislocated. I can't read this. Xiphoid process and a broken rib. Guess I'm not throwing for a while, dude. I feel awful for you. That sucks. Fixing a tractor accident. Xiphoid is that thing at the bottom of your sternum. Man. First of all, that must have been scary, and I'm sorry. I'm glad you're okay. I know that injury is not okay. You're okay. I hope you heal quickly. That's tough, dude. That's tough. Ouch. Doc says sometimes even a meh round is nice to just get out there. True. Doc says, wait, Jim, were you at a Charlotte course and got hit by a square disc? JK, sorry. Dude just says Xiphoid process, also known as somebody either had a quiz recently or is good at copy and paste. The ensiform process or metasternum is a small triangular shaped extension of the bone located. I don't know why I'm reading this whole thing. The bone located at the lower end of the sternum. Had to Google good on you for knowing it on the fly, Dujit. Here we go. No, that was copy and pasted from Google. I was wondering. It was a little too precise of language. Primary function is providing attachment for muscles involved in breathing. And a landmark for CPR. Very busy with school, soccer, work, etc. Oof, a lot of things altogether. How has soccer season been? Did have health class, but literally never heard of that before. Crayon says, why are you? Because God made me. Dujit says, but I hope you get well soon. Jim, well, do, hopefully. Dujit says, yeah, Brad, why are you? It's a great question. Why do I not exist? That is an excellent question. And the answer is God wanted me to exist, and he allowed me to come into being. So here I am. No one pays attention to health class. It's okay. I paid pretty good attention to health class. Not like I couldn't list technical terms of a lot of things, but a lot of general health knowledge. Good. Crayon says, name. I don't know what that means. If you're asking what my name is Brad. Why are trees? Why are Brad? Two good questions. Dude says mine was over the summer and got it done in like 3 hours. You got your health class done in 3 hours? That's insane. That's too fast. You definitely did not learn a thing. Absolutely nothing. It's just whatever you knew was reinforced, and what you didn't, you just leaked out of your brain immediately. Dujit says, soccer team, not that great this year. Oh well, 3-6. Ouch. Still fun and good times. Don't take it too seriously. That's good. And as a goalie, you know that if you're getting scored on, it is on your team. Like, you can make mistakes as goalie, but if you're getting shot at a lot, if there are a lot of shots on goal, you can't prevent all those shots. Some of them will go in. Jim says, all good. Thanks all. I'm good. Back to throwing T-Rex rollers. Ouch. Hopefully the healing goes well. Luke, why trees exist? I get that. Why do they stand there and then smack my disc when I throw a good drive? Happened to me several times today. Several times I threw a practice shot and I hit the same tree that my first throw had hit. Kind of rude. Doc says, when I was a kid, health class was mainly just teaching us how we would die. All right, whatever. That sounds about right. Dude says, the only thing I remember is that drugs are bad and S word is bad. Okay. True. Drugs are very bad. Be healthy. Take care of yourself. Eat fairly well. enjoy life, but don't enjoy it in excess. Don't do things that are dangerous and stupid and foolish. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't put others at risk. Invest in your future, and you're going to appreciate the life that you give yourself. Um, and for me, as a Christian, I think that truly considering religion, truly considering um, the Bible as possibly true, is potentially a completely life altering, life enriching spiritual element that you might be missing out on. Health is all inclusive, it's not just physical. Emotional health is very important as well. Having proper self understanding, not to think of yourself as without flaw, or let's just say if you have too much self esteem, you might think you're better than you are at things. If you have too low self esteem, you don't think you can do things you can. You want the proper understanding of yourself to know that you can handle things, that you can grow and be better, but not be so overconfident that you hurt yourself or do dumb things thinking that you are just the best. Or go on America's Got Talent and embarrass yourself because everybody told you how great you are at singing, but it turns out you're just okay. Bryant says, will you be attending Eagles Wings this year? My plan is yes. I have not signed up yet, but I want to check in with my brother. I assume that we'll try to get a shared room again, and it is my plan to attend. So I believe that will work out really well, and I'm looking forward to it. Crayon says, orange lip hair you, which I think is a way of saying that I have red in my hair, which is accurate. Not exactly an earth-shattering revelation. I would say it's pretty, I mean, yeah, I have red in my beard. Nice observation. Doc says, I'm a terrible singer. Don't care though. Love to do it. Karan says, I black hair. Nice. Glad you have black hair. Jim says, do you know if there's a roller only tournament until Circle 2? That would be a tournament I would lose. That's a fun one. I would love to see that. Roller only until C2. I feel like that is a great, you'd have a random winner. Like you would just have this guy who just lays down rollers and you never knew it, and he just pops off and destroys everybody. That's really cool. I think you should run that tournament, Jim, and then win that tournament. Dude just says, on the other hand, I experimented today with 3/4 Dr. Pepper and 1/4 apple cider mix, and it's kind of amazing. Okay. I hope it, I don't know. I can't comment on that. Doc says, by the way, after Brad goes off, K-pop Demon Hunters watch along, everyone. Okay, I understand. When I end the stream, Doc wants everybody to watch along. Oh my gosh. Brian says, excellent plan too as well. Yes, shout out to the Eagles Wings Conference. If you've never heard of it, it's a Christian disc golfers conference in Florida, and I've gone the last 2 years in a row. It's been amazing. I won a bunch of discs last time, including some from Paul Macbeth's personal collection. I won these Innova Gators from back when he was with Innova. Also won this Nate Sexton Firebird, which is worth about $100. $100. A bunch of random discs. You get a t-shirt. You play in multiple events. I got to play on a card with Sullivan Tipton, and we got to chat about his trip to New Zealand, where he was going to play within view of where they filmed Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Not jealous at all. It's just an accessible event where some pros will show up, like potentially Isaac Robinson, Cole Redolin, Gannon Burr, Silas Schultz, Sullivan Tipton, and other Christians who are out on the Disc Golf Pro Tour killing it. So really, really fun, really cool. Shout out. Luke says, trying to throw my heat better distance. What's a good goal for that disc? Heat, okay, you're at 260 to 300 with it. I mean, I don't think you need to push the heat too much over 300. I think that 320 is a great throw at the heat. I think it's less of a distance disc and more of an angle hitter. But maybe it depends on how your heat flies. Maybe you throw yours for distance. But Dudu says, suck at singing and dancing, so you won't have to worry about me. Think my siblings are currently watching K-pop Demon Hunters. There you go. Technically have to hide that, but yeah, I do enjoy them. Anthony says 780-foot par 4, tightly wooded. What are you throwing? So if this is a specific course or hole in Charlotte, then let me know. Otherwise, it totally depends on what the shot shape is. If it's a dead straight 780-foot par 4 tightly wooded, then that's very different than if I'm doing a massive turnover or a hyzer shot around to a landing zone. So that's definitely not enough information, but 780 par 4, I can imagine throwing an Enigma for first and second shot, or Enigma and Wild Honey, depending on the angles. Sometimes I'll be throwing a Brave in the woods quite a lot because a Brave is a good way to get good distance while maintaining accuracy and consistency. The Wild Honey kicks it off a tree, it could go anywhere. If I'm playing for par, I might throw an Echo to keep it, if it is dead straight the whole way, then probably Echo, Echo, Echo. Just depends. Just depends on what the hole is. Yeah. That is fully dependent on what the fairway shape looks like. Also, how dangerous it is, because tightly wooded could mean, 20-foot gap the whole way, or it could mean multiple tight gaps, or it could mean like 5 feet off the fairway is death, like Nevin or something like that. It just depends. Doc says maybe a dragon. Dude, this is trail, maybe that one MVP driver that's like 12.5, -3.2. What is that? I don't remember what that is. Catalyst? Where are you? I don't have the flight numbers on this. I think it's something like a 13.5, -3.2. Now I forgot where it was. Was it here? No, it wasn't there. 275 is pretty good for an objective beginner, early amateur for the heat. Yes, true. Doc says, Luke, don't know your financial situation, but if you're not picky about stamps, colors, discount discs is a great starting point. It's an infinite store that doesn't do pictures and all that. Thank you, Doc. Just want more distance. Distance might be, like they tell you, is you, not the disc. Sometimes it's the disc. Some discs just fly better for you and for your form. When I added the Wild Honey to my bag, shout out Eddie for giving that to me. What a legend. It immediately added distance to my bag like that. And it suddenly I had the ability to throw over 400 feet off the tee somewhat consistently instead of just very rarely. So Wild Honey just flies further for me. And it's not lightweight. It just flies right. So it could be a different disc. Dude just says, actually, no, Crave, Anthony. Love my Crave. There you go. Heat is Paul McBeth's go-to roller. I can roll it about 315. 315 is good. Doc says he's throwing a Brave. Good shout. That is a disc that I mentioned. Forehand heat roller. Nice. Is roller the distance play? Copy that, good sir. It can be. It can be. Rollers can go very far. Sometimes. It's just, there's no guarantees. Dude just says no. It's a utility shot. Yes and no, but like a year ago, I threw a 415-foot roller, but I couldn't throw much over 400 feet with an air shot. So it was like, it could be the way to get distance in certain situations. It was on a baseball diamond, so I don't know if that rolls a lot better, probably. Anthony says, Will Bennick Memorial Columbus? Columbus, Michigan? MI is Michigan. Columbus, Michigan, huh? I don't know. I played in Jackson, Michigan. I played in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I played in... Where's Toboggan? Near Detroit, Michigan. I haven't played in Columbus. Yeah, it totally depends on the fairway shape. Remy says, hi, do you remember me? Yes, it has been a few weeks. Thanks for hopping on and joining us again. Katrina Allen had a laser roller. They were amazing. Some people can really lay them down. Dude says, good form and time is the best distance play. That's probably true for the majority of players, yes. 13.5 -3.2 was the guaranteed one that came with the gyro box. Was that the Wave? That was probably the Wave or the Jet. Remy says, my name is Renee. I knew that. I literally read your name and I was like, what? Renee, welcome back. Jet, where are you? That's not you. Did I give it away? I swear if I need to throw this again. Vanish? Was it this? Was it the Vanish? The Gyro Vanish? Which does not fly like a -3-2 if it is. More stable, but I think that is partly the plastic. It is a glow disc. It is Eclipse. Let's see it. Wow, I love the pesky location notification that won't let you go to a website. Yeah, it is the Vanish 11.5 -3.2. Yeah. Renee says, how many do you have? How many discs? I have probably 300 now. I got a few extra sets of discs from 2 different tournaments, a mystery box, a shoe box that someone sent me, and I probably am pushing 300 at this time. Yeah. Vanish was the exact one you're talking about. We got there. Nice. Had that exact one. Yeah. It flies great. I mean, it can turn. It's just not, I don't think it's -3.2 flippy. I don't think it's that much. But it is potentially flippier disc. Katrina needed the roller to battle Paige's distance. Yeah, Paige did throw really well. Luke says, learning new shot shapes is so fun. Threw a flip up hyzer right hand forehand. Disc was turning left, and I was like, what if I let it flip up? Boom, new shot unlocked. That's a lot of fun. That's really cool. Doc says, by the way, you took cash, so how are you going to be doing the AMs? Because it wasn't sanctioned. It was an unsanctioned. I explained this several times, and I'm sure you just weren't listening. A point series, you have multiple sanctioned events leading up to the point series finale. You earn points in the point series. They're all sanctioned events. And then you have the finale based on your points. It is an unsanctioned for cash event for amateurs. So it's not accepting cashes as an amateur because it's not PDJ sanctioned. It's just like going to your league. If you take $5 home from league, you haven't cashed as an amateur and now disqualified. So that is the situation. 300 is a good number. Proud of you. 300 is a good number. Proud of you, Brad. Thank you. I'm finally hitting not the big leagues, but like respectable to Doc standards leagues. Jay Full says, what brand makes most of your bag? Great question. I think I have 11 different brands in my bag right now, 11 different manufacturers. So Discmania, I have Enigmas and FD1. Discraft is maybe the one that I have the most of because I have either a Raptor Cap Wrap, Soul, Zone, and Zone SS at the moment. So that's probably the one with the most. 4. But 4 is not that many. Several Echoes, so Streamline, Latitude, several Braves, and a Keystone. So yeah. Where am I based out of? I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. So happy and fortunate to be in what I consider to be the most concentrated area of disc golf in the United States, and potentially the best, broadly speaking, not the best in perfect quality, but the best in terms of access to good courses and a lot of variety and quality. Hey, might be moving here. Heck yeah. Charlotte is where to head to, man. That's where to head to. Calls a DGPT, tell them not to cash. Go ahead. I have already been given cash and sent it back and alerted the PDJ and said, hey, I'm rejecting cash as an amateur. I'm not taking this cash. So I'm fully prepared to do that again. They know me at this point. Yeah, NC is amazing. Yeah. All right. 4.5-minute break. I'm going to be right back, use the restroom, and return shortly. Don't leave too many comments about soup while I'm gone. Okay. I always have to scroll back up so far every time I come back. It's at about 300. Yeah, about 300 discs. Yep. Tomato soup with milk. There you go. It's definitely coming up. Yeah, Charlotte is great. Hopefully, you'll get to be here and just enjoy all of the great courses. Uh, broccoli and cheese, chili. There we go. Dude, shouting out chili. Renee, nothing like chat while I'm gone. This is great. Anybody throwing the glacier thinking of picking one up? So man, I wish I had done a full review of the glacier. Where are you? Where is my glacier? Where is my glacier? Oh no. Ah, there it is. Yes, I threw the glacier a few times. When I put a little bit of anti on this thing went so far. So far. I think it's a great disc. I haven't thrown it enough, to be honest, but I think it's a fantastic disc. So I like the glacier. I recommend it. I think it's good, especially if you can throw decently far, because it is stable, but when you get that at speed, it zips. It's really nice. Doc says, finally did get my book from the digital library. 2 copies for people about a month. LOL. Ouch. What book? Matt says, highs or flip. Thanks for hopping on and saying highs or flip. Mid from Discmania, yes. Insaf says, are those frisbees behind you? Big difference between similar, but big difference between a frisbee and a disc golf disc. Disc golf discs are designed to fly further and faster than a frisbee is. They have very different shape to them. The weight distribution is different. I don't know how many people curl fingers underneath for a frisbee. I always had like a finger on the side for my throwing. With a disc, you've really got to get your grip on the rim of the disc to generate power and speed when you throw it. Disc will fly a lot further. Also, do not play catch with a disc. It's going to hurt. These are all a little bit different. All of these discs have a different flight path. Some of them go dead straight. Some go a little right and then come back. Some never stop going right. Some go left. Some of them, when they hit the ground, they have a huge skip. Some of them like to slide when they hit the ground. Some just kind of stop. Then you have putters meant for going into the basket. Lots that goes into it. Basically, you're playing by the rules of golf, but you're throwing discs into a basket instead of swinging clubs and hitting a golf ball. 5502 for the Glacier. Yeah, I think so. Never threw a lot of Discmania. Don't know why. Missing out. Dude says, me and a group of friends went to the local Skyline Cincinnati chili chain to visit, joke with another friend that lives there, but the power went out as our food came out. Oh, at least their food was cooked. I had food on the oven in a pan, warming up, and the power went out. So of course I had to go to Taco Bell. They had power. Discmania tends to be overstable, pro-focused. I would say that is very true of Prodigy and slightly true of Discmania, but they do have plenty of flippy options. But they also have a lot of neutral. I would say they mostly have neutral to stable and overstable options, but they do have flippy stuff. So I would say they're not exclusive or anything like that, but a little bit less. Oh, where did we go? That was really weird. Okay. Looks like we're still good. Looks like we're still live. All right. My screen went black for a second and then it came back. Anyway, so I don't think it's wildly overstable or anything like that, but they do lean a little bit in that direction. Doc says, I think starting out, I was a name and stamp guy, and Discmania was not exciting. That's probably true. Even now, they have some cool stuff, but probably not as much. At least you got to eat. Yes, very true. Dude, you got to eat. Thought Space has some very cool stamps. Doc says you spelled West Side wrong. Okay. Yellow Glacier looks like. Yes, I like the yellow, and I kind of wish that I had gotten one of the different colors, but at the same time, like the yellow looks so sweet. So I was like half torn because I wanted the black and white for the ice theme. Okay, bless me. Sheesh. Anyway, Doc says, Brad, if I pay for it and send you a DGA Titanic, terrible putter, would you keep it beside your Glacier on the shelf? Is it overstable? Because the Glacier is in order of flippy to overstable mid-ranges, and I keep all of my discs in order from understable to overstable. So it had to have to be very stable to put the Titanic next to the Glacier. Also, why not put it next to the Berg? They do have some 6 stamps as well. West Side, they do have some cool stuff. Even if Brad didn't, I got the joke. Renee is back. Prodigy might have the most boring names and stamps of all time. Yes, they do. Doc says, yeah, even my love of cat couldn't make me a Prodigy fan. Brad with a Sharpie, I can make it super overstable. Say the weirdest things, man. Doesn't fly different with Sharpie. Silly, silly. All right, let me double check here. 37 votes. 57% say definitely should have a Hold My Bag league. 14% maybe. 24% what is that? And 5% say no way. Okay. Bryant says, ouch, blows to my heart, y'all. Yeah, he's a Prodigy guy. And fair enough, my brother's Prodigy guy as well. Prodigy, dang, he's not the street team. He's the tournament team. Whatever is the above the street team. And so Bryant and Jake are both Prodigy guys. But to be fair, Bryant, are your stamps cool? Or are they all F7, M2, P1? Change the numbers on it. You'll never need to throw it. Okay. Bryant, if everyone threw the same discs, they would be like $400 each. If everyone threw the discs, I don't understand what Doc's talking about. Dude just says October 4th is my landmark tournament to gauge my progress every year. So I gotta warm back up for that. Yes, gotta get ready, gotta perform in your benchmark event. That's right. Bryant have some pretty fire stamps. Bryant has some cool FX. Well, I guess it's not just. I forgot that you had a variety of discs. My bad. Bryant has a cool stamp, but that's a custom individual stamp, not a Prodigy stamp. So even Bryant, by saying that he has a really fire stamp, is showing that the best Prodigy stamps come from the fans, not the company itself. Doc says, you got this, dude. Yeah, dude is going to kill it. Going to destroy. Going to obliterate everyone. Man, I'm a little tight. I was a little worn out at Camp Canaan today. I think my encroaching birthday is starting to age me at an accelerated pace. So wearing my backpack just kind of wore me out. Dude, you got to play an MJ18 this year, though. Growing up. It's tough stuff. Brutal. Getting older. Doc would know. Getting older is tough. It is tough. I'm getting a little bit worn out. I think 10 more minutes. I've got 10 more minutes. So get your questions out there, get your comments, get your soup suggestions in the next 10 minutes. Bryant says, I cannot wait until I stop getting beat by young guns. MA40, here I come in 2028. Coming soon. J Full says, bag 1, trunk 1, pond 1, Buzz MD3 Hex. All right, I think you have Hex in the bag, Buzz in the trunk, and MD3 in the pond, which would make me sad because MD3 deserves to be in the bag. Doc says, you're now a man, dude. We will have you a disc mitzvah. It's not bad. Dude just says 10 more minutes for an HMB league. Fair trade. I had the correct answer? Dang. Wow. I mean, there's only have 3 options, but I feel kind of proud of myself. It's not too bad, huh? It just says bag buzz, trunk MD3, pond hex. No. You have to calculate the likelihood of the ubiquitous nature of the buzz being thrown into a pond or being in someone's bag. It's more likely that that's the disc that's in the trunk. And from there, you can figure out that the hex would make the bag and MB3 would have been the one that got thrown in the water. You got to logic your way through it. Marcelino, hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for hopping on and joining. I win a Berg X. Thank you. I love a Berg X. I have the Berg in the bag, but I would love to throw the Berg X in and get some throws in with it. I need to get more familiarity. I've only thrown a Berg X 4 times, 5 times, maybe. Not that many on the course. Dude loves his Berg X. Everybody says they love it. Sorry, I'm playing with the... Brent gave me these. Yeah. 2 mini markers, but they say run it and lay up. And you're supposed to lock them together and then flip it. Run it. But I never play my disc golf that way. I always like to be in charge of my own decisions. Got it in the... Got to get it in the pink K1 Soft. Interesting. Pink K1 Soft, huh? Sounds good to me. I don't hate the soft plastic for putters, for throwing putters, I should say. But I don't like the soft plastic for other discs. Just doesn't work for me. Just for me. But for the Bergs, I do like it because it's a gentle throw or a flick. And I feel like it works better like that. Doc says keep snacks in it. You could get like almost nothing in here. Like there's so little space. You could get like a York patty. What else could you slide in there? One of those chocolate coins that you get in a bag. Maybe a Jolly Rancher, but I feel like it'd be too tall. Yeah, there's only a few snacks. Only a few snacks you can fit in there. Soft plastic makes it more workable and accurate for those touchy shots. Interesting. And I imagine, as you're saying that as it lands, it settles in really well. Doc, like the rubber discs for blind shots or lots of stuff off the fairway? That's fair. That's true. I just feel like I throw them so poorly that they don't make up for like their advantage of not kicking far doesn't help me because I threw it poorly in the first place. That's just me. That's my personal experience of throwing the rubber discs. But I feel like for upshots, it's better because you're more likely to have good control over that and have a touchier shot. Doc, because I'm old and don't want to hit a tree and chase after it. Fair enough. Again, if you throw the disc well, it makes a big difference. I don't throw them well. Just what happens. Just how it goes. At my age, I missed a really sad putt today. I had a great tee shot, put myself to 18 feet. And of course, it's this death putt with this probably 15 feet downhill in about 35 feet hill right behind the basket. So I airball it. Miss the comebacker up the hill. Take a bogey from being 18 feet from the basket off the tee. That felt really good. Yep. Doc says Hunter on Foundation didn't like rubber discs, but then threw it so well, he was so aggravated. Yeah, I'm definitely the opposite. Where I don't hate the idea, but I throw them poorly, and I'm like, well, that's a bummer. Works more than you'd expect. Literally, I missed a couple. Cardmate introduced me to a new putting strategy called the Berg Blast. Literally just Berg forehand and pray. That's what Jiki does. Works more than you'd expect. Yeah, you hit metal a lot. For a day, I thought I would be a forehand putter, and it was a new thing. I cannot read. What? For a day, I thought it would be a forehand putter, and it was a new thing. Marcelina says, have you tried that new Innova Fox? Also, do you find yourself leaning more towards a brand than others? Great questions. I threw the Fox one time. Shout out to Ray, who ran into me at Bailey and let me borrow his Fox on hole 21. Flippier than I expected. I don't know the weight. I don't know if there's a plastic difference right now. But I threw it one time. and I thought aim to the left, it'll drift right. It flipped over like crazy. So very flippy for the way that I threw it. But I appreciated getting the chance. And I literally set up my tripod. I had it for filming, and I swapped it vertical, and I just must not have pushed the button fully, and it didn't film the tee shot. Otherwise, I would have posted it like yesterday. Uh, but I don't own one, so I don't have access to a Fox at the moment. I do need to just run into somebody who has it in the bag, say, hey, can I throw that once on camera, and get a video. That has to happen. Do I lean more towards a brand than others? I would say not too much. I do have several Discraft discs in the bag at the moment. Latitude, so I have Discraft Zone SS, which just made the bag. I had Captain's Raptor. Rip. Lost it today. Raptor, and what's the other one? Soul. Duh. So I have 4 Discraft in the bag. I have 2 Braves for Latitude along with the Keystone. I have 2 Enigmas for Discmania and the FD1. So I have multiple, like 3 or 4 discs, but I don't really lean heavily in any direction. I will say that I love the plastic of the Cosmic Neutron Streamline discs. I love the Royal Grand plastic quite a bit. And I'm also going to apply it for the Lat 64 teams in the next couple of days. And I'm a little bit hopeful that they might put me on something, because I played well at Am Worlds, and I have a little in with Johnny McRae. Not like we're buddies or anything, but he knows me. He gave me a lesson, and he remembers me. He actually really sent me some kind messages during Am Worlds, which is really cool and unexpected. Everyone has a forehand putting phase. I did not. I tried it one time. Like, not even a phase. Like, I threw one, and I said, never. It's fun for fun, though. Bryant, you need to come play Socasti before they tear it down and remake it. When are they tearing it down? Doc said, after you threw the Fox, what did it say? It said, too flippy. Dude, it says they named a course after the philosopher. Good one. I liked it. Thumbs up for that joke. Jayful says, bag 1, trunk 1. This is a great game. Bag 1, trunk 1, pond 1. Throwing putters. Luna MVP 2. I would say Envy in the pond, P2 in the bag, Luna in the trunk. Droki says Chargers or Raiders to win. Are those football teams? I'm just kidding. I know they're football. I don't know. I don't care. I got nothing. Doc says, Dude, if they did name one after, it would have to be Freud. So many slips in disc golf. It's not bad. Haven't tried Luna, but I'd go. Oh, Dude says, haven't tried Luna, but I'd go bag, Envy, trunk, Luna, pond, P2. What is that? What is the Luna? Okay, whatever. Marcelino says, do it, bro. Yeah, last 64. I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Birdie Time and the Latitude team fits so well. I would be so thrilled. As long as they let me do like disc reviews and stuff of other companies like that. That's very important to me, to still have a little independence for the channel. But I wouldn't mind shifting my bag pretty heavily to Latitude. Dude says, I think it was super limited run of a stamp, and now it's a rare disc. Ledgestone exclusive. Jim says, loved my Echo before the injury. Can't wait to throw it again. It is such a good disc. Latitude Elite Team. Oh my gosh. Bryant says, starting around mid-November of this year, putting in on soccer fields, so tearing up the course. Favorite local course. Ugh, that hurts. Okay, mid-November. Got it. MX Spike says, when's the next tourney? So, birthday week. Tournament on Sunday, and it's at a pretty easy par 3 course. I'm hoping to birthday ace weekend in tournament. First, it wouldn't be the first ace I won money with, but it'd be my first tournament ace. That'd be awesome. So it's an easy 1 round. I'd say easy, not easy to win. Easy course to play, 1 round tournament. So I have high hopes of competing well and maybe taking the victory. That is Sunday. Dude just says, Envy is so good though. Can't believe you'd pawned it. That's the problem. You trust it so much, you accidentally Ripping it into the pond. That's how I threw an echo in the pond. I hope I get that back. Dujit currently bagging 2 envies. There you go. Zeed says, am I the first Ed Sheeran of the day? Yes, you are the first Ed Sheeran of the day. Congratulations. And should I? Fun fact, I was actually playing my guitar a little bit the other day. Huh. I'm still terrible, but a little bit of music. Brad and Jonathan, that could be dangerous. That would be fun. No, I'm sure that I wouldn't be at any level where I actually interacted with Jonathan or the other pros, but it'd be very cool to be aligned with that. Echo 5-5 -1.5 1. What a good disc. Dude, it says you are believe in yourself, Zed. You are, and yes, since I've been here, yes, it is. Buzz SS is pretty good so far. I imagine that thing is flying so well for you. Is there a fire disc? Need Ed Sheeran, Brad. I see fire disc. Okay, that's okay. Brad, check out I see fire, but metal by Miranda. Okay. I suppose I might do that. Okay. I said 10 minutes, but I think I have another 3. So bonus minutes on the stream. Unfortunately, wrapping things up. I am, getting old in my advanced age. Birthday week. I'm going to be ending the stream earlier than I usually do. But it's been great with you guys. Throw in your last minute questions and comments before I close the stream down. But thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. Tournament Sunday and USDGC doubles first week of October coming soon. Hopefully I can get some good practice in and report back to you guys. Duck says, though, she's a redhead and I have a soft spot for them. Oh, Jayful, what was the answer? Did I see your answer? Jayful, I didn't see your answer. Was I right again? Envying the pond is wild. Firebird, Raptor, Fireball. Brent threw a Firebird in the pond, so Raptor in the bag, Fireball in the trunk. Dude, need to get back to where I can actually throw flat and not some type of hyzer. I get a flat release for like 2 rounds and then revert it. Oh well. Stefan says, hey, happy birthday. It was great playing you through Wednesday. Yes, it was, man. Wish that it didn't take so long playing the longest layout with all 5 of us. Then we'd actually gotten a complete round in. But it was a lot of fun. Some great shots out there. Some putts that were this close. But thank you. I hope to get out on the course several times this week and hopefully play well in a little birthday weekend tournament on Sunday at Runsky. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Dujit. Doc says, remember, it's okay getting old. We usually forget what it's like to be young and not having aches and pains. There you go. Envy the pond is wild, but I get it. See? Thanks for playing. All good answers. All right. I think I answered fine. Dude, it sounds like in your head too much. Try a different type of music when playing. Okay. Moving on. Try a podcast. Really not in my head for a couple rounds, but didn't actually know what changed to get it that way. All right. Anyways, I guess that's Doc and Duja talking to each other. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for all the questions and birthday wishes. I will catch you guys next week. Hopefully reporting in on a tournament victory and hopefully beating Team Brent in next Sunday's tournament. I know Doc will be thrilled if I do that. All right. Catch you guys later. Peace out.